Kaya nawala, hindi ko iniisip. Ang iniisip ko lang, Jubilee. O sige, mag-host. Okay, okay. Naku, nung mga 1 week, 2 weeks na ng siguro mga 1 week or 2 weeks before, may costume ka na ba? Ha? Kaya mag-costume? Sino mag-makeup sa'yo? Ano headdress mo? Ganun. Sabi ko, ha? Kailangan nga pala ng ganun. Doon ko naisip na, nga pala, no? Kapag mga ganyan, maarte.
Parang mala celebrity lang talaga ang ano.
Lagi. Fran, wag ko na kailas akong kaugalingon na din. Pilok. Tapos nagbukiyo akong buhok. Nya, kanang naka-costume. Tapos ang makeup talaga naman.
Alam mo ba, madam, ngayon ko lang na-realize, madam, may kahawig ka na artista. Hindi nga. Kahit na sabihin mo kay Sister Hazel at ni Sister Aleth, kahawig niya si kahawig niya yung Miss Universe ng 1970, ano ba yun? 72 ba yun? si ano ba? Si Gloria Diaz. Nung kabataan niya, tingnan mo.
Oo nga.
Diba?
Hindi nga ko. Totoo.
Ano?
Kaya yung pinapadescribe mo sa akin kanina, totoo yan.
Puti lang si ate ko.
Nako.
Hindi ba?
Eto na to. Para tigilan niyo ako. Pinsan ni Arnold.
Isang wave dyan, ate ko. Dali.
Oo naman.
Ayan.
Pampalakas ng loob. Sige na.
Papagood vibes lang naman yan. Ikaw talaga.
Napadala na
Sila sa akin ganito.
Mas maganda pa to kay kay
Sabi
Gloria
ni Jay,
Diaz
Nagbobolahan na raw tayo dito.
Pinadakara din mga chat.
Nagpapaalis lang ng nerbiyos.
Yes, pang parelax.
Okay.
Exciting discussion.
Okay. Sige. So 1 PM na po mga kasama. So I think mag-start na tayo. Okay. Sige.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to our e-learning series, part 2. Our topic this afternoon is to homeschool or not to homeschool. Okay. Now, brothers and sisters, we are so blessed to have a dynamic and ano pa mga matawag ko dito, talagang mga bigati nating mga mentors this afternoon. May 3 po tayong mentors ngayong hapon na ito, brothers and sisters. Ayon sa pagkasunod-sunod, ang una pong magsasalita sa atin, si Sister Marjorie Mayte, tapos susunod si Sister Aleth Domingo Reyes, and Sister Hazel Martinez. Now, brothers and sisters, before we start, opening prayer muna tayo bago ang lahat. Okay? Bishop Fontanoza, can you offer to us the opening prayer, please? Thank you.
Yes. Let's pray po, let's pray. Naririnig niyo po ako?
Loud and clear po, Bishop.
Okay, sige po. Our Heavenly Father, we are grateful for this wonderful opportunity to gather once again to have our e-learning seminar. And we are grateful for these undertakings given by our ACE team group, amazing group. We are grateful for our mentors, especially today. We ask you to bless them that they may be able to impart their knowledge regarding homeschool. At this time, we ask the special blessings of the Holy Spirit to be with us and help us that we may be able to do this quality time for us, especially for all alumni of the ACE group. We ask also to guide us always that we may be able to apply those principles that we are about to learn this afternoon. And all of these things we do ask and pray in the name of our Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. All right. Bishop, maraming salamat. Maraming
Okay
salamat,
po.
Bishop.
Welcome.
All right. Okay. Brothers and sisters, again, we welcome you to our e-learning sessions this afternoon. Our topic for today is to homeschool or not to homeschool. Okay, to be presented by the three of our mentors this afternoon. Okay, before ko i-introduce yung ano natin, yung mga mentors natin, gusto ko lang remind no sa ating mga ano natin, mga participants natin na ang una po natin gagawin, brothers and sisters, is magsasalita muna yung mga speakers natin o mga mentors natin. Okay, yung 3 speakers o mentors natin. After nila mag-present, magkakaroon tayo ng questions and answer portion. Okay? So, habang nagsasalita sila, brothers and sisters, kung meron na kayong mga tanong na biglang pumasok sa isipan ninyo, pwede niyo na i-type kagad sa question or chat box diyan sa features natin diyan sa Zoom. Okay? And after natin after na sila magsalita at meron na tayong question and answer. After that, meron tayong mini reunion para picture taking tayo sa mga participants natin with the mentors. Okay? Now, masyado na ako excited eh. Yung asawa ko nandito na yan sa aking tabi para makinig. Okay. To introduce to you our 3 speakers this afternoon, Sister Marjorie Mayte. She is a work from home mom for 7 years, and she is also a full-time mom for 10 years, and a homeschool mom for 7 years, which began in 2001. Her passions include education, service, nature preservation, self-reliance, and parenting. Yan po si Sister Marjorie Mayte. And for our second speaker, siya po ay si Sister Aleth Domingo Reyes. Siya rin po ay homeschool mother of 4 daughters, ages 6, 10, 12, and 13. She homeschooled her children ever since, so it has been about a decade already. She served as a mission in Philippines Baguio Mission. She is currently serving in the ward as first counselor in the primary presidency. She loves learning with her children and serving in the church. She also enjoys good music and literature. Yan po si Sister Aleth Domingo Reyes. Our third speaker, siya po ay si Sister Hazel Raflores Martinez. She is also a mother of 3 boys, married to June Martinez. Her work experiences include human resources and guidance counseling. She is homeschooling her children for 4 years now. She enjoys learning with her family. According to her, learning never stops. The world is their classroom, and they love to learn something new every day. Brothers and sisters, we welcome or ibigay na natin ang time sa ating mentors. Magsisimula po kay Sister Marjorie. Palakpakan naman dyan, brothers and sisters. Sister Kong or Sister Marjorie, it's your time. Thank you.
we're not here to experts, we're just here because we have recently created um, and so we wanted to answer questions, invite those families to homeschooling. So, ang topic namin ngayon, particularly sa akin muna, is to know about homeschooling. So, ano ba yung makailangan naman for you to start homeschooling or whether if homeschooling is good for you or not. No? So, ano ba ang homeschooling? So, simply put, homeschooling is to teach one's children at home. And in the church, this is something new. We've already been taught about teaching our children and as mothers to be primary nurturers and teachers of our children. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is, bakit mo gusto mag-homeschool? Is it because ito ba yung new normal? Is it because kailangan mo mag-cut ng cost? So when I was first approached by the director of the academy, he was looking into this angle, no, na syempre now that resources are scarce, might cut our costs. But later on, Hazel will discuss and Aleth will discuss that homeschooling can help you cut costs. Sometimes expensive, but later. Then the last one is, are you homeschooling because you have a desire to be more involved in the teaching of your child? So why do we answer these questions? We answer these questions because it's not really homeschool. So may mga time na nakafrustrate ka, you will always go back to the reasons for you homeschooling. That's why it's important for us to determine ano ba talaga ang reason ko, yung mabigat na reason ko for homeschooling para mas ma-withstand natin or mas kayanin natin yung pressure. Imbis tayo paggawa ng week para makakita. So what is your frame? When you're thinking about homeschooling, gaano ba katagal mo gusto mag-homeschool? Are you thinking until everything normalizes? Or isip mo, try ko lang for a year and then pagkas 1 year, I'll just give it a try. Or gusto elementary, or buong high school, or even hanggang senior high school. So, bakit kailangan mo yan i-determine yung time frame mo? Kasi mamaya, i-discuss ni Aleth, yung type of homeschooling independent, where hindi kayo necessarily accredited sa DepEd, but just the same, you are studying at home. So, ginawa ko ang latter part ng homeschooling ko na independent kami or END. So, dito sa independent na to, since wala kaming record with the DepEd, we did something else, and that will be discussed in depth ni Aleth. And determine your educational goal. By educational goal, hindi yung frustration. It's your child's inclination. Meaning, yung gusto ng anak mo. Ano ba yung kanyang gift? Ano ba yung inclination niya? Ano ba yung passion niya? No? Hindi yung frustration mo. Gusto ba niya pumasok sa university or gusto niya pumasok sa university? Kailangan din natin malaman yon because the type of homeschooling that you will do and applications that you will be needing will also largely depend on your future plan, your child's future plan. This your vertical and vocational will also determine kung anong learning style or lasting ang gagamitin sa kanya. So, yes.
Medyo choppy, no? Maraming putol-putol dun sa sa audio. Oo.
Really? Okay.
So, pero minsan magiging maayos siya, pero mas marami yung choppy kesa dun sa dire-diretso. Sayang.
But your slides are really exceptional because it guides us also with what you're discussing right now.
Tingnan natin ito daw.
Humina yung audio mo.
Medyo humina yung audio mo.
Using ko lang yung audio ko. Teka lang po. Is this better?
So far, yeah.
Oo.
But
Medyo humina lang
oo.
yung audio mo, pero mas mukhang okay yung yung
Mas
connection.
okay to. Okay. Yan. Better na to.
Better,
Yeah.
but the volume
Yeah.
decreased. Yan.
Eto.
Sige. Salita.
Okay.
Ayan,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me share again. All right. Naka-share na ba?
Yes, we can see
Yes, Sister Kang.
Okay. So, again, no, so tignan din natin if their inclination is towards technical or vocational, or baka naman ayaw na mag-college, gusto na lang magtrabaho. So, all of these factors, no, are important for you to determine how you will go forward with your homeschooling. And then, may mga considerations din tayo, no, last but not the least. We have to think ano ba yung personality and learning style niya. Kasi pag sa school, madalas majority of the schools in the Philippines, palaging lecture type. No? Kung makahanap ka ng mga medyo hindi masyadong lecture type, mas medyo mahal na school yon. No? So, alamin mo kung ano yung personality ng anak mo at saka yung learning style. And kahit magkakapatid sila, they may not have the same personality and learning style. My 3 kids, no? Lahat sila iba-iba ng personality at saka iba-iba ng learning style. And then, nagva-vary yun. Siyempre, hindi naman tayo pare-pareho. So, nagva-vary yung method na ginagamit sa kanila at saka yung exposure. Second, ito yung consideration, lalo na ngayon, ang daming nawawalan ng trabaho, or some of the business owners naka-experience ng slowdown sa business. So, consider nyo din yung budget. Hindi porke maganda, ganito yung gusto ko, ganyan. Siyempre, kaya nga kami nagpe-present ngayon to present an alternative on educating your children and to present what's available out there, not just the regular schools. Tapos, tignan nyo din ano yung home atmosphere nyo. Nakikita ko, kunyari sa mga iba't ibang bahay, they have a separate room for their homeschool, which is their classroom. Yung iba naman, pag hindi kalakihan yung bahay, nagsiset aside lang sila ng isang area sa bahay nila na kung saan kapag ka doon nandun sila, mag-aaral lang sila. So, in education, it helps din yung kanyang learning environment kasi alam niya kapag ka nandun siya minsan na sa like voluntarily na aalis niya yung distractions because yung knowledge na nandito siya sa area na to, mag-aaral siya. Tapos yung setup ninyo, sino ba nagtatrabaho, sino ba magtuturo, ano ba ang role ni daddy. Now, when I was invited to join this homeschool group, I was actually pleasantly surprised that the fathers are also involved. And then I was talking to one mother, sabi niya na mag-homeschool nga raw siya, tapos binibigyan na niya ng parang guidelines yung si father na, sige, ako magtuturo, pero pagka mga ganito, ikaw sa activity. So, tignan nyo din. Of course, sa akin, hindi applicable yung ganun na setup. No? So, I was doing everything, but it helps kung meron kang support group. So, which is the last item. Ito yung pinoprovide namin, papromote ko na lang din.
several years ago, I saw this page, no, na Antipolo, na tawag dito, homeschool na support group. Unfortunately, when we started homeschooling, walang support group. And it was difficult. Nung nag-move kami, eventually when some changes happened in my life and I had to move to Davao, I was able to find a physical support group around 2015 or 2016. We were there for a time, unfortunately, because of our beliefs and their religious beliefs. Kasi it's not about being Christian lang. They wanted me to accept their doctrine. And which I cannot. So as a consequence of that, nakick out kami sa group. So when that happened, I wished, no, sabi ko, kung ayaw niyo ako dyan, gagawa na lang ako ng sa akin. Pero in Davao, wala pa gaanong nag-homeschool. So this pandemic actually had its ups and downs and advantages and disadvantages. And one of the advantages is dumami yung mga mag-homeschool dito sa Davao. So in fact, we have started the process in the group, sa Latter-day Saint na support group, na i-break down into Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Kina-cluster na namin kasi madaming kailangan ng support. No? So, ito yung mga kailangan natin ng mga isipin bago tayo. So, as you listen to Aleth and Hazel, tandaan niyo po yung mga questions na tinanong ko sa inyo at saka yung mga considerations na diniscuss ko, because these are the things that you will need to be able to decide kung how you're going to proceed in your homeschooling journey. I remember Julie B. Beck, no, in 1997. Sabi niya, mothers who know are nurturers. This is their special assignment and role under the plan of happiness. To nurture means to cultivate, care for, and make grow. Therefore, mothers who know create a climate for spiritual and temporal growth in their homes. And this is one advantage of homeschooling. No? You can incorporate secular as well as spiritual learning in your home and help your children connect yung spiritual sa temporal. So, yun yung isa sa mga advantages nito. And Carol Dweck, who was the author of Mindset, sabi niya, a growth mindset is when students understand that their abilities can be developed. In fact, this is not just applicable to students per se, but it's also applicable to parents. We have had parents who felt very inadequate, no, to homeschool their children. Although homeschooling is not for everybody, tignan nyo muna and consider kung you're just being fixed in the way that you think. May nagsabi kasi sa amin na, sana sing tatalino nyo, sana sing gagaling ninyo. But those are not fixed qualities. No? They can be acquired over time. So as you decide on homeschooling, don't be closed-minded about it yet. Na, ay, nako, hindi talaga ako magaling. Hindi talaga ako mapagpasensya sa anak ko. Wala talaga akong patience magturo. So you hold off on that thought after you listen to Aleth and Hazel. And hindi pa kasi yun dead end. Pwede talagang ma-hone yung mga abilities natin, mga skills and intelligence. So the second speaker, the one who's going to follow me, is Hazel, and she will discuss yung mga providers. No? Isa ito sa mga ways na pwede kayo mag-homeschool is through a provider. So she will discuss extensively what types of sino-sino yung mga providers are out there and why you would want to go into a provider, no, to go with a provider. Randy.
Sister
Hello.
Kong, maraming salamat. Apo, Sister Hazel, tuloy na po kayo.
Sige po. I will share my screen. Thank you, Sister Kong, for that very comprehensive explanation about homeschooling. And sabi ka ni Sister Kong, meron dalawang path na pwede tayong i-take in homeschooling. It is through independent homeschooling and through a homeschool provider. So my topic is about homeschooling with a provider. Let me share with you my screen. Nakikita na po ba? Okay. Yan. To homeschool with a provider is to be in charge with the education of your child with the help from a school, just like in the traditional form of education. Accredited providers are connected with the traditional school that have complied with DepEd homeschool requirements based on DepEd Order 21 Series 2019. And having a provider has its blessings and challenges. One of the blessing is the DepEd accreditation. A homeschool provider help us with academic records, and accreditation is very important for us. Accreditation is very important to track the level of your child, and it is also needed when your child transition to regular school or enter a university. Homeschool providers process all the needed documentation. They issue the transcript of record and process the learner reference number, or LRN. LRN is the unique and permanent number given by DepEd to each student as one goes through the basic education program. But the challenge here is with accreditation, there's a cost. It involves service cost, tuition, and curriculum. Uh, it ranges from 8,000 to as much as 90,000 per year per child, depending on the grade level and the services offered by the provider. And most of the time, the prices does not include the learning materials and support services. But right now, DepEd is looking at the option of offering homeschooling program in the public schools. So, intayin po natin yung announcement na yon. And in case kapag inopen po ito sa public school, then we don't need to worry about the cost. So, and also, I know of some providers that offer scholarship. There's one provider who offers scholarship for the children of the frontliners and also scholarship for the underprivileged. Another blessing of having a provider is the support, the school support that you get, okay? Like having an advisor to guide you in your homeschooling journey, training for parents, and a study group, which is commonly called co-op or learn group. In homeschooling, a lot of people are questioning about socialization. So having a learn group can address that issue, and it's a good source of um, helping our children improve their socialization skills. And then also, when you have a provider, they will give you a curriculum as a guide for the whole school year. There are homeschool providers that allow you to customize your lesson according to your child's interest. Pero may mga provider naman na kailangan kung ano yung binigay nilang curriculum, doon lang kayo. Yung textbook or lesson plan quizzes, you cannot go beyond what is given to you. However, enrolling with a provider means you have to comply with also with a set schedule. So kaya merong isa sa mga challenge is the less flexibility with schedule and curriculum. Like you need to submit grades quarterly and do portfolio review with the advisor. Some even require quarterly tests. So you have to follow certain requirements in order for your child to level up to the next grade. So providers, and these providers base their requirements on the learning competencies set by DepEd. Another factor in having a provider is that the ones that will teach your child, whether it be the parents or a tutor, must have at least college degree. So yun isa sa mga challenge, qualification of parents. So may I share with you some of marami po kasing homeschool providers in the Philippines. So these are the parang mga known homeschool providers. Iba-iba po ang kanilang services. Makikita nyo po na sa internet ngayon or sa Facebook or when you search for this homeschool providers, makikita nyo po yung mga links sa kanila. If you want to know more about their services, pwede po kayo mag-register for orientation with them. And you can also read some articles about this different homeschool providers. Sometimes some articles, they already include the fees and the services offered by these providers. Okay, so right now, dahil pandemic, marami po talaga ang they're thinking of um, transferring or availing this option of homeschooling their kids. And if you decide to homeschool with a provider, ang big question is, which homeschool provider? Sino ba ang pinakamaganda na homeschool provider for my kids? Let me share with you the things that you need to consider in choosing a provider. First is you need to check the accreditation of the school. Check if the school is DepEd recognized, because there are some school operating without DepEd permit and recognition. So you need to be very careful with that. And then you check the provider's faith, values, and philosophy. See if it matches your family. This is very important because some providers that are religious based may require you to study materials that are not aligned with your beliefs. So use your personal discretion in this regarding this issue. And then next is consider the cost. Does it fit the budget of the family? Check if the services included in the tuition fee is commensurate with what you are paying. And then also review their requirements. See if you can meet them. And then next is ask them about their curriculum. Is it rigid? Can you have some allowance to adjust your child's interests and needs to the curriculum? Is it aligned with DepEd? Some providers will give you choice of a local and foreign curriculum. Ask these questions and see if the curriculum they offer is aligned with your goals and fit for your children. The next is ask if they have a support service. Ask the provider if they have a parents training. Are they going to assign you to an advisor? In case you have questions, at least meron kayong matatanungan. And do they have groups, support groups or learn groups para to get an additional support while you are homeschooling? And then lastly, you may also consider the geographical location of your provider. However, nowadays, with the technology, madali na, no? Most providers can accommodate even those who are far from the school. This can also be considered depending on the situation of the family. In closing, let me share these thoughts that not all classrooms have four walls in homeschooling. And in homeschooling, the world is our classroom. And though we have so many restrictions now because of the pandemic, hindi tayo makalabas, you can be creative in teaching your children. Every day, there are a lot of things that we can learn around us, opportunities around us. And we don't need to go far to teach our children. While we are in quarantine, we can still explore the world around us. For now, virtually muna. There are a lot of wonderful learning resources online that can cater this need. Yung iba may bayad, pero karamihan libre naman po. Or you can just go out of your house and plant something or watch the birds or the caterpillar or even look up to the sky and watch the stars. And when it comes to education, there's no school like home. God has endowed us power. God has endowed us parents with power to teach our children. No matter what kind of circumstances you have at home, tayong mga magulang are the first teacher of our children. And as President Monson said, perhaps the most significant of all classrooms is the classroom of the home. And yes, we can bring the school to our home. It's fun to learn, learning together as a family, and you will be amazed of all the that you you will be amazed that you can also learn a lot of things from little ones, from your children. And this will create memories that will be treasured forever by your children. So whatever learning options that you choose for your child, whether it be blended learning, distance learning, face-to-face, or homeschooling, the decision is yours, parents. And may I invite you to study your options, consider the need of your family, and then consider the need of your children, include your children, involve them in the decision making. And lastly, which is the most important part, is pray about it. Homeschooling is fun. Happy homeschooling, everyone, and stay safe. So right now, may I turn the time to Sister Aleth. She will discuss to you about the second option, which is independent homeschooling.
Salamat po, Ate Hazel. Okay, so I'll be sharing something about independent homeschooling, kung ano ba yon. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, so here, independent homeschooling. Ano nga ba ito? So, it simply means not connected to any DepEd accredited homeschool provider. O this is commonly known as INDI. Yun ang tawag sa mga homeschoolers na hindi sila connected sa mga homeschool providers. Pwede pala yun. Not connected to any DepEd homeschool provider. Let me share to you a bit of my personal experience. No, I was also an independent homeschooler even before there was a term independent homeschooling. Nung time na yon, kasi I have been homeschooling ever since. Okay, so homeschooling was a very fascinating idea for me even before it became popular. And at that time, hindi pa ako married noon. I was fascinated by the idea, pwede kaya yun na I can teach my children the gospel in the home, ganyan, and then hindi sila masyadong ma-pressure sa traditional way of schooling. Isip ko kung meron kayang ganon. And then, when I got married and had children, it so happened na my husband, ang kanyang boss ay homeschooler. So yun na. That's our journey to homeschooling began. We attended orientations ng mga provider at that time. It was so long time ago. So ilan-ilan lang ang mga providers at that time. And it so happened na for us, medyo namamahalan kami. It was gustong-gusto ko pero hindi namin ma-afford ang provider. So at that time, I decided to be an independent homeschooler. Walang provider. Because we couldn't afford it and I really want to do it. So, okay, so the next slide here. There are so many kinds of indie homeschoolers or independent homeschoolers. Napunta actually ako dito sa first kind na tinatawag na unschoolers. At that time, I think I got so passionate about this homeschooling thing na research ako ng research. And I found out about unschooling. Medyo negative yung connotation niya, no? Kasi unschool, medyo radical yung dating. Pero actually, when I read these philosophies of John Holt, Pet Ferenga, Sandra Dodd, na para sa akin, somehow, I felt inclined to it. Para sa akin. So for those who doesn't know about this homeschooling philosophy, maybe you should research about it. Para sa akin maganda siya. Ang unschoolers have no particular curriculum. It is child-led and sometimes they are called life schoolers or world schoolers. So you just let the child learn the natural way. Sa unschooling philosophy kasi, naniniwala na human beings are natural learners. And we tend to want to learn the things that we are passionate about. And when we do that, we tend to learn more quickly and effectively kapag yung pinag-aaralan natin ay gusto talaga natin. So yun yung idea ng unschooling, and some indie homeschoolers have that kind of philosophy and they follow that. The next kind of indie homeschoolers is called the traditional indie homeschooler. They follow a certain curriculum. Maaring yung local curriculum ng DepEd. They do that. I also did that. I tried to know yung DepEd curriculum. It served as my guideline, no? Pero eventually, parang sometimes medyo restricting siya for me kapag susundin ko talaga by the book. So I just try to follow yung curriculum na innate sa aking mga anak. So, yon. Meron din namang mga international or US-based curriculum. So, yon. So, those are two kinds of indie homeschoolers. Mga may curriculum at meron ding wala. Pwede rin yon. So, next question is, how do indie homeschoolers get accreditation? No? Kasi yun ang usually, yung mga tanong eh. Like, hindi kayo pumapasok sa school? So, paano yan? Paano ma-accredit? Paano? Wala kayong high school diploma or elementary? Yan, paano na lang? Ano mangyayari sa inyo? So, pwede rin. Indie homeschoolers can get accreditation through these so-called tests. Yung una, yung PEPT o Philippine Education Placement Test. This accreditation test is, yung purpose nito is to provide grade placement sa mga bata. Dahil unschooling ang method ko, I didn't really intend to take the placement test. Pero eventually I did kasi one of my children wanted to experience conventional schooling. Siguro kasi at that time, kami lang yung nag-homeschool sa lugar namin. And so they started to wonder and be curious kasi lahat ng mga kaibigan nila goes to school. And so they wanted to experience it, and I don't want to deprive them of that experience, lalo na't gusto nila. And the unschooling philosophy would also let me do that. No, kung gusto ng anak ko, it's child-led, di ba? So yun ang desire ng anak ko, and I have to feed that desire. And the only way to do that is to take the placement test. So be prepared for the PEP test. If you go to the DepEd website, meron doon na mga requirements kung anong kailangan para makatake ng placement test. So we took the placement test, and then my children were able to pass the test. And then one of them, yung may gusto, experience going to a public school for a time. Okay, pero she finally asked to be pulled out. Siguro kasi naramdaman niya na mas better siguro. She thought, she actually begged. Sabi niya, "Mommy, can you homeschool me again?" Sabi niya na it was so much better and more fun when we were homeschooling. Yun ang sinabi niya. Actually, yung pakiusap niya sa akin, "Mommy, I would do whatever you ask me to do. Just homeschool me again." You know. Okay, but she was actually doing well in school. She nasa honor list siya, and nangihinayang yung kanyang advisor na she is going to be pulled out, no? Pero at that time din kasi pumasa na siya kasi we took another PEP test, and it so happened na pumasa siya doon in another level. It's because of her age. So she doesn't really have to finish. Parang actually last quarter na yun eh. Pero she doesn't need to finish it kasi pwede na siya dun sa, parang nag-skip siya ng isang level. Anyway, so the next homeschooling accreditation ng pwedeng kunin ng mga indie homeschoolers is the ALS, or yung Alternative Learning System. Itong ALS, part ito ng alternative delivery mode ng DepEd. This caters mainly to the out-of-school youth. This gives them an elementary or junior high school diploma if they pass this test. So ang mga makakatake lang ng ALS, for example, kung ALS elementary, this is also age-based. So if you are going to take an ALS test, you have to be 13 years old and above. Yon. So kung junior high school naman na ALS, you have to be 16 years old and above. Yon. So yun, they can have an elementary and even a junior high school diploma after taking ALS. Now next, accreditation. Some indie homeschoolers choose international providers, mostly US providers. No? This is called a foreign accreditation. Merong ganon. And in my observation, some indie homeschoolers would do that kasi they have desire to go abroad or they are Filipinos living abroad. And yung iba naman is actually for savings kasi mas mura ang US providers na kumpara sa local. Sobrang mura. Mga nasa, halimbawa, merong mga US providers, if you just research it, na parang 10% lang or 20% lang ang amount niya kumpara sa amount sa cost ng homeschool provider na local, no? Pero, sorry about that. Pero itong US providers na to, accredited siya in the US, but unfortunately, hindi dito sa bansa natin. So, kung under ka ng US provider, you will still have to take the PEP test or ALS kung dito ka mag-enroll sa Pilipinas sa college or senior high school. But some students, some indie homeschooling families would enroll as foreign students. They do that. Kasi karamihan sa mga kilala ko na indie homeschoolers na under US providers, hirap sila sa Filipino, sa sariling panlipunan yon. So, etong PEP test kasi at saka ALS, merong mga Filipino na mga subjects yan. So, to avoid going through that hassle, they would enroll as a foreign student na lang. Kung mag-enroll sila dito sa mga college universities and senior high school. Yon. So, yun po. Yun ang mga indie homeschoolers accreditation tests or path na pwedeng gawin para magkaroon ng accreditation, para maging legit, no? Yung kanilang learning. Next, I'm going to share to you the blessings and challenges of my indie homeschooling journey. Okay, this is based on my experience. Like I said, I wanted to homeschool even before I understood na there is such a thing. Now, iba ang kinakaharap natin ngayon. Most of the people here right now in this, maybe watching this webinar, might be considering homeschooling because of the pandemic, or maybe they got curious about it. Pero I'd like to share my personal experience as someone who really wanted it. I've had so many, my life was so blessed because of homeschooling. But in every blessing, a challenge accompanies it. So siguro itackle ko yung blessing first and then a challenge. Unang-una, ang pinaka nagustuhan ko sa homeschooling as an independent homeschooler is yung more freedom in learning. Ito talaga yung na-appreciate ko. Kasi when I started homeschooling my kids, maliit pa sila no, sa mga preschoolers. So I taught them the way I learned in school. So ayan, sige, kunyari, teacher, turo-turo, meron pang ano. Pero yung challenges ko, eto, establishing structure was really hard. It was hard kasi dahil ginagaya ko yung eskwelahan, sorry sa aking pet dog. Okay. Dahil ginagaya ko yung structure yung kung paano ako natuto, it was actually very hard. Kasi meron akong lesson plan, pero nai-stress ako kapag hindi ko nasusunod. or kapag hindi ginagawa ng mga estudyante ko, mga anak ko, yung gusto kong gawin nila, it was stressful for me. Hindi siya madali. Okay, but because we didn't have a provider, wala namang pressure, wala namang kumbaga, wala naman akong hindi ako maobliga na kailangan kong gawin to dahil I'm not following any particular curriculum. I was able to adapt somehow or customize according to my children's learning styles or needs. So we will talk more about that learning style siguro sa Q&A portion. Nakita ko maraming mga tanong about that. So isa sa mga tanong na nakita ko na paano ba natin malalaman yung learning styles ng mga anak natin? There are tests about that, no? Yung technology is very awesome. Meron yun mga tests. Pero what really helped me was the church. When I prayed, nung hirap na ako, paano ko tuturuan ng mga anak ko, I prayed so hard and I felt a prompting. That prompting came to me as something na nagsasabi sa akin to behold my little ones. Pagmasdan sila. At yun, I follow that prompting. Pinagmasdan ko sila, inobserve ko, and I try to get to know them. Inisantabi ko ang lesson plan, curriculum, mamaya na kayo. Pagmamasdan ko ang mga anak ko, ikilalanin ko sila. At nung makilala ko sila ng lubos, as time went by, as I tried to get to know them, I had this feeling of somehow loving them more. I tend to love them more habang nakikilala ko sila at nagkakaroon ako ng mga ideas on how to teach them better. Nakikita ko kung ano yung mga nagpapatawa sa kanila, ano yung nagpapasaya sa kanila, what makes them sad, what motivates them. Nakikita ko, sa tingin ko lahat tayong mga magulang, we have that gift and even mandate from the Lord to get to know our children, to love them. That is very crucial in teaching them. I think it is very hard to teach someone na hindi mo mahal. So yun ang aking takeaway sa blessing and at the same time challenge na yan. A blessing was the freedom. I don't have to follow a certain structure or curriculum, walang pressure. Pero also difficult to establish structure, but not impossible. Okay. Next blessing is the savings. We've gone through, yung husband ko and I, we've gone through some challenges in life na somehow medyo nagkaroon kami ng mga financial difficulties, and homeschooling has helped us to provide quality learning for our children without spending that much. In the homeschooling kasi, you don't have to pay for expensive providers. Yun, so, and I'd like to go to the next blessing. Excuse me po. Yung invest on value for money activities. So yung pera na ibibili mo sana ng extra pa na sapatos, bag, ano bang kailangan sa eskwelahan, or yung mga binabayaran halos everyday sa school na parang hindi naman necessary na, you can actually use that money on activities, learning activities that matter most. Yung like yung panganay ko, she likes cooking. And yung mga ganyang workshops kasi, they usually sabi nga nila pang mayaman lang yan eh. Pero we can, dahil may mga na-save kami because we are independent homeschoolers, we were able to afford those activities na gusto ng mga anak namin and could contribute sa kanilang learning. So, yun ang isa sa mga blessings. And the challenges that we went through, because we homeschooled independently, yung hassle in getting accreditation. Hindi siya madali kasi gobyerno. Well, sometimes it can be easy, but hindi rin kasi natin masabi. Lalo na kapag mahaba yung pila, ganyan. Pipila ka, mag-apply ka, yung getting the documents ready. So you have to consider din that. Hindi siya madali. And Lalo na ngayon, kung sakaling marami yung mag-i-indie homeschool, most likely, at saka kapag gantong pandemic, yung mga accreditation test na kasi na yan, wala pang online. So you really have to go there in the test center to take the test. So may mga ganong factors na dapat i-consider. Though ginagawa na ng paraan ng DepEd kung paano nila masusolusyonan yan. So they're doing things na. So itong hassle na sa accreditation, maaring masolusyonan din. And next, lastly, is stigma. And I put, it's not for the faint-hearted. Ang ibig kong sabihin kasi dyan, when you're doing something different, people tend to disagree with something na kakaiba. Like, bakit hindi nyo pinapapasok ko yung anak nyo sa school? Siguro ngayon, hindi na siya magiging masyadong problema because of the challenges we are now facing. But during my time, it was so hard. A lot of people have worried for us. At hindi ko naman sila gustong i-burden. That's why we took the PEP test and we also had a provider para lang masettle yung worries ng ibang tao sa amin. But then siguro on your part, I think, dahil iba pa rin siya, hindi pa rin siya conventional schooling, so it can be a challenge. So yan po ang mga blessings and challenges ng indie homeschooling in my opinion, in my journey. Now, I'd like to close this thing that I share about independent homeschooling with a quote from our prophet Russell M. Nelson. Sabi niya, "Your mind is precious. It is sacred. Therefore, the education of one's mind is also sacred. Indeed, education is a religious responsibility. Of course, our opportunities and abilities will vary a great deal. But in the pursuit of one's education, individual desire is more important than is the institution you choose. Personal drive is more significant than is the faculty." From Russell M. Nelson, our prophet. We all know that our prophet is a doctor and he really educated himself really well. And I felt so grateful that we have a prophet who is a doctor. But if we also think back of our previous former prophets, the prophet Joseph Smith, he doesn't have a formal education, but he's a prophet. And we know that he is also great in wisdom and knowledge. So I really, kung meron mang magiging isang, sa dami ng mga pinagsasabi ko, if you would just remember one thing sa lahat ng mga sinabi ko, is that ang pinaka-importante, whether we homeschool with a provider or independent, the most important thing is we cultivate a love for learning sa ating mga anak at sa ating sarili. It's not just our children, actually, that we're educating. It is also ourselves. An individual desire is more important than is the institution you choose. Personal drive is more significant than is the faculty. And where do we get, who is the master teacher of all? Where do we get knowledge? Ano ba ang source ng knowledge? The greatest source of knowledge is God. So I hope, brothers and sisters, that we, even in searching for the proper education of our children, I hope we hear him. It doesn't really matter whether we go indie, we seek a provider, or we go public or private school. I don't think it matters that much than yung ating desire to help our children have faith in the Lord Jesus Christ and to repent. You know, those basic principles that is taught in the church, for me, is more important. Academics will just follow. Yun lang po ang aking i-share sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Wow. Sister Marjorie, Sister Aleth, and Sister Hazel, in behalf of the Academy, nagpapasalamat po kami for sharing your talents and expertise regarding this matters. Napakagandang usapin ito, lalo na sa mga parents talaga na talagang gusto natin matuto yung mga anak natin. Sa saktong paraan talaga. Mayroon tayong mga options. Now, ano nangyari dito? Ayan. Okay. Now, Sister Marjorie, Sister Aleth at Sister Hazel, meron tayong mga katanungan dito. At siguro, para hindi na tayo matagalan, ibabato ko tong mga questions na to, either pipili na ako sa inyong tatlo. Okay? Okay. Now, ito yung mga questions nila. Okay? According to Nat Reyes, how can you determine or help your child determine his inclinations at an early age? Sister Marjorie.
Okay. Sa inclination naman ng mga bata, may dalawa, no? Kung dun sa tanong niya kasi younger age, at a very young age. Normally, to determine it, you have to spend time with your child kasi hindi naman siya parang natetest agad. In fact, yung pagka-gifted, natetest yan, mga 4 pa eh. No? Pero yung mga mga basic lang like observe, simply watch your child, listen to her speak, yung interest niya. Meron akong parang nakikitang child sa Facebook, anak ng parang SA dati nakakilala ko. Ang galing-galing kumanta. Hindi pa niya masyadong na yung mga words, pero ang tono niya, at less than 2 years old, maganda na. So makikita mo na meron siyang inclination talaga sa singing at saka sa hindi pa siguro masyado sa performance kasi hindi pa naman siya nalalagay sa crowd. Pero sa singing, meron siyang mga ganun inclination. Mag-provide ka din syempre ng encouragement, and then allow your child to try different things. But since we're already on this topic, kapag ka-older naman, what I've done with my children ay dalawang bagay, dalawang assessment. The first is yung mga ginagamit sa mga private school. It's called the Center for Educational Measurement. Yung binibigay nila na diagnostic test ito sa beginning ng school year. And they give the same test at the end of the school year para makita nila kung anong naging progress ng child dun sa area na yon. Pero that's purely academic. One of the most recent, nung natapos ng high school yung mga anak ko, one of the most recent tests that I've done for my children is called the Harrison Assessment Talent Solutions, or HATS. Bakit ko gusto yon? Kasi it does not just test yung IQ, pero yung inclination ng child in terms of habits nila. Habang test, measures yung kanilang consistency dun sa answer nila. So kaya minsan yung ibang questions pa ulit-ulit. And these are used by MasterCard companies, top Fortune 500 companies, ginagamit nila ito. So that's why I had my kids take that too bago sila nag-college. And then that showed us a very extensive report of their inclinations, hindi lang sa mga courses na gusto nila, pero yung mga interests din nila. So that was very comprehensive and it helped us a lot.
Maraming salamat, sister ko. Ganun pala yun. Okay. Thank you po. Ang question dito.
If I may add,
sige po. Go ahead po, Sister Hazel.
Sorry po. If I may add, sinagot ko na rin po yung sa question and answer portion. So, dun sa, what's that? Yung sagot doon. yung tanong doon tungkol dun sa mga assessment tools. Aside from the assessment tools that Sister Kong mentioned, you can observe your child, kagaya na sabi ni Sister Kong, to know their inclination. And there are also websites online that offers free assessment, like yung assessment ng learning style, interest test, yan. Meron din naman po. You just type in dun sa, mag-google po kayo, mag-search po kayo. So lalabas po dun, may mga libre pong sites na nag-offer nun.
Okay, maraming salamat Sister Hazel, ano. Parang naalala ko tuloy yung lesson ni ni Sir James dati na how to raise a excellent child. Sabi ni Bossing is focus on their ang tawag dito, yung strength nila. Yeah. Okay? Parang may connection yan. Okay, Sister Aleth, you want to say something? You want to ibang question na? Okay ka na? Or do you have any additional? Okay, very good. Thank you. Apo, ito, next, meron dito, isa-isahin ko na lang to, no? Meron po ba tayong list of support group dito sa Philippines? Dito sa Las Piñas City, meron po ba, or Latter-day Saint support group? Okay. Sister Aleth.
Nung nag-start po ako ng mag-homeschool, hindi pa uso yung Facebook support groups. So because of that, nag-join ako ng mga support groups ng mga foreign. Sa Utah kasi at that time, marami na nag-homeschool. So join ako sa Utah homeschool group, ganon. Minsan sa India, kahit saan lang na pwede kong ma-joinan. Just to learn more about it. And then yung mga ka-support group ko na nasa Pilipinas, walang member akong kilala at that time. Pero we have this Yahoo group. Email kami sa isa't isa. Yung sila Edric Mendoza, Donna Donor, yung mga seasoned homeschoolers na ngayon. And I learned so much from them. And then they finally decided to have a homeschool group na tinatawag natin ngayong Homeschoolers of the Philippines. It's a very comprehensive group. Kung gusto nyong malaman yung nitty-gritty ng homeschooling, na maintindihan lalo, meron silang mga files doon. But I also decided personally to make a group, a support group na Latter-day Saint at that time. Pero may mga nag-member pero hindi kami masyado naging active siguro kasi busy. So medyo na-deactivate yung group na yan, na-archive. And then nabuhay lang uli this year. Yes, Ate Hazel, tama ba? This year, kasi yung mga, kami dito sa state ko na nag-homeschool na. So, might as well, buhayin ulit yung group na yon. So, change ko yung group na yon. Dati yung LDS Homeschooling Philippines, parang ganon. Ginawa kong Antipolo Homeschool, Latter-day Saint Homeschoolers Antipolo. Pero dahil sa pandemic, biglang ang daming gustong mag-join na hindi taga-Antipolo. So, we've decided to accommodate them and change the group name into Latter-day Saint Homeschool Philippines. Tama ba? Yun yung name ng group, and welcome ang lahat na mag-join. And siguro maganda rin kung meron kayong kilala na taga sa inyo, na member din, you can create your own support group. And we are always here, kami, sila Ate Kong, Ate Hazel, to provide support that we can give to your group. Yun lang po.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Aleth. Okay. Ito, next question. Ayun. Meron po bang homeschool provider na LDS? Wala naman, Okay.
Unfortunately, dito po sa Pilipinas, wala. Opo. Pero sa US meron po, pero hindi po ako sure na actually yung BYU parang distance learning yan eh. Opo. So yeah, so parang homeschooling na rin.
Okay.
Pero
Sige.
wala po sa Pilipinas.
Maraming salamat, Sister Hazel.
Naisip ko lang, si ACE to, baka mamaya may mga maisip tong mga member ng ACE na magtayo ng
Yes.
Latter-day Saint Homeschool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yun na yun.
Hazel.
Support group na lang kami.
There is a need. If there is a need, why not?
Brother Randy, kami sa Latter-day Saint Homeschool Philippines, we're actually searching for members who own schools. Kasi lahat ng school ngayon is given the mandate to have a homeschooling program. Although
Nice.
kailangan pa nilang magkaroon ng accreditation for that. So iba pa yung DepEd accreditation sa inyo bilang eskwelahan, iba pa yung accreditation na kayo ay homeschool provider. So kung meron man kayong kilala na member, maybe we can partner, collaborate with each other. We can provide the homeschooling program. We can support you with that, kung paanong gagawin. We're open for partnerships. Itong mga kasama ko are willing to talk to someone who is a school owner, whether elementary, high school. Mas maganda po sana kung hanggang high school.
If I may add to Sister Aleth,
Okay.
ano po, yung may mga school po kaming nakausap na nagbibigay po ng discount sa mga Latter-day Saints. So yun lang po ang nagawa namin sa ngayon. So natulong kasi kakasimula pa lang po talaga nung group. So ito po yung ginagawa namin is to connect with schools who can give us discount. And not just school, but learning materials, online learning materials like K+, Creeper, like that. And yun po. So, nabanggit kanina ni Sister Kong yung tungkol sa, balik po ako dun sa Learn Group, na yun po yung talagang isa sa mga goals namin dun sa group is to help our fellow parents na gustong mag-homeschool dahil hindi nila alam kung paano magsisimula. Tapos kung ang provider, since siyempre hindi naman po tayo lahat ay capable of paying yung mga mamahaling mga tuition fee ng mga providers. So, yun po, naghanap po kami ng mga magbibigay ng discount. And yung iba po, may mga discount nga po, pero less yung services. So, yung grupo namin will do that for the group. Yung pagkakaroon kami ng mga web classes, parents training, to assist them in their homeschooling journey. And yung nabanggit ni Sister Marjorie kanina na we are going to cluster them, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, para sila mismo as Latter-day Saints, as a group, can support each other. So yun na po yung mga magiging learn group nila. They can organize activities. Yan po. Pwedeng learning activities, pwedeng fun activities, field trips, like that. Yan po.
Maganda yung sinabi mo kanina, Sister Hazel, na with your group, talagang nakipag-coordinate kayo sa mga schools, kung saan pwede kayo makipag-ugnayan sa kanila. Yun na nga, sabi nyo, number one, isa sa mga naging successful kayo sa coordination nila is yung pagbigay ng ang tawag dito, yung
discount.
Discount. Now, may nag-ask dito, Sister Hazel, sabi niya dito, according ni Sister Hazel kanina, aabot ng 90K or 90,000 in 1 year.
Yung iba po.
Yung iba, yung iba.
Yung ibang provider.
Ang question niya po dito, Sister Hazel, is, ganun ba talaga kalaki or meron ba tayong mas parang abot kaya naman? Kasi yung mga members naman natin, alam mo naman, mga simple lang yung mga members natin, and they wanted to be, they wanted to be, mag-homeschool din sa mga anak nila.
Yes. Opo, yung pong presentation ko kanina is based from research of the different tuition fees nitong mga homeschool providers here in the Philippines. Pero kagaya po kanina, ni-range ko doon from 8,000, may nagbibigay po even lesser, 5,000. It's one of the school that we are partnering with. Kaya lang po, we're still waiting for the memorandum of agreement that they have. They've been in existence for, the school has been there, recognized by DepEd for 22 years. Pero since ngayon pa lang po sila, this is going to be their first year to offer homeschooling programs. So mas maganda po na meron talaga silang written. Although the principal said meron na siyang verbal agreement with DepEd here in Antipolo na pinayagan na silang mag-homeschool. Pero, syempre, mas maganda po, mas safe tayo kung meron talagang written memorandum of agreement. Yun po, it's very affordable, 5,000 pesos. And there is one homeschool provider that we have partnered with. They're offering discount also. Ito naman pong provider na to is from preschool to senior high school. Kasi yung isa pong binabanggit ko sa inyong 5,000 is preschool to graders only. So, yun po. So, kung magjo-join po kayo dun sa group namin, Latter-day Saints Homeschooler of the Philippines, dun po namin pinapaskel yung mga announcements. So, yung nagsisimula na po ang enrollment dun sa isang school na nagbigay sa amin ng discount. So, meron po siyang binigay na link sa amin na mag-enroll doon sa link na yon, lahat po yun ay discounted. Yan po.
Wow, nice. Nice, Sister Hazel. No,
and if I may add also pala, sorry,
sige.
when choosing a provider, depende po, pag-aralan nyo po yung pamilya nyo. Kasi there are some who are really very traditional, structured. Gusto nila talagang may guidance, may subject matter outline silang hawak, yun ang susundin nila, tapos may textbook sila. Merong po mga ganon. At merong mga parents na gusto nila, may freedom sila to choose their textbook, their learning material. So there are also some providers who do that. Na yes, you are accredited with DepEd, meron kang LRN, hindi mo na kailangan mag-PEP test, pero meron ka ring freedom to choose your learning material. So mas maganda po kung yun ang mahahanap niyong provider.
At saka may add po ko, Brother Randy.
Yes po, Sister Aleth.
Public schools po who are starting to put homeschooling as part of their learning modalities. Dito po sa Antipolo, merong yung San Jose Antipolo National High School. Isa na sa kanilang mga option yung homeschooling. And we're trying to connect with them, no? Kasi ang public kasi walang bayad. Pero we have to make sure din kung paano yung kanilang programa. Kasi syempre, ganun din. Like any other school, private or public, we have to know kung paano yung kalakaran para maipaintindi natin, ma-define maigi sa mga magulang. Magkaroon sila ng better decisions kung ano yung pipiliin nila. Yun. So we are also, we're trying to connect with the public schools regarding homeschooling program.
May add lang din ako konti. Yung kanina, I think they've mentioned that there are many online resources available. So, naalala ko kasi that we started with a provider, but towards high school, nag-independent na lang din kami. So, dun sa independent, anything goes. Like right now, meron yung mga sinasabi nila Hazel tsaka ni Aleth kanina na meron mga educational portals na nagbabayad ka lang. May free, that's Khan Academy, Quipper, 5,000 per child. Tapos DepEd accredited. Tapos DepEd accredited yun. K+ is cheaper. Nakakuha din si Hazel. Si Hazel kasi ang haggler namin eh. So nakakuha si Hazel ng mga 2,000 something plus lang, which is the same as Quipper, but a lot less expensive, like 50% lang ang cost. No? So, and they're giving that discount to the group. So, you want to explore that kasi wala ka ng tuition, tapos yun na lang. And then, in my case, nung high school kami, we went the ALS route. So, my children took the ALS test, yung A&E test nila, acceleration and equivalency test. And when they passed it, at that time, kasi ALS kasi was not yet K-12 aligned at that time eh. So, the moment we passed the exam, pwede na agad kami, either mag-vocational kami, or mag-college kami, or kung gusto namin mag-senior high. No, we have yet to check ngayon kung na-align na ba ng kasi medyo mahirap yung modules ng ALSI aligned to K-12. So if they're not yet aligned, then the certificate that you will get from ALS will allow you to go sa vocational, college, or senior high.
Wow, tindi Ang pagkakaalam ko lang kasi sa ALS na yan eh, 'di ba, yung mga talagang mga bata na walang pagkakataon na makapag high school.
Yes. At saka minsan yung mga classmate ng mga anak ko, driver or laborer,
Ganon.
katulong. Oo, kasi once a week lang siya. Once a week lang siya.
Okay.
I have a question sa ating mga powerful mommies.
Go ahead po, ma'am.
First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to explain a lot of things about homeschooling. And a lot of those in the chat box are really appreciative of what you're sharing to them. These are powerful and significant information. One question that keeps on repeating is homeschooling daw po for every mommy? What if you are a full-time working mom or a part-time working mom or a mom working at home? How do you now navigate homeschooling?
Sino ba
So,
sasagot yan? Working?
Okay.
Working ba tayo?
Opo. Ako, when I started homeschooling, I was working. So, challenging talaga yon kasi first year namin, tapos nagtatrabaho ako, and high school na yung mga anak ko nung nag-homeschool ako. So, yung subjects nila are medyo complicated na yung iba, lalo na sa math. So, and science. Yan. So, talagang ang ginawa ko is kapag hindi na, kasi independent sila na nag-aaral. So, we're with a provider. So, binigyan nila kami ng curriculum. So, we're following the curriculum. So, they're doing it independently. So, nagsasagot sila ng mga unit studies. Units yun per quarter. They need to finish a certain number of units. Ganon. Tapos, pag dumating yung point na hindi na nila kaya, binila, mami, hindi ako makaproceed kasi hindi ko to maintindihan. So, I source out help from from my family. Nagtatanong ako sa mga friends, usually alam natin kung sino magaling sa math, sa science, ganyan. So, yun, pwede tayong humingi ng tulong sa kanila. Or, kung meron kayong extra budget, ay pwede rin naman na mag-hire kayo ng tutor. Or, ang isa pang ginagawa ng anak ko is marami kasing online tutorial. Malaking tulong sa kanila yon. Like, Kong mentioned about Khan Academy. So, marami pong mga free online tutorial portals in the internet. So, it's possible. Hindi po, tsaka kapag working naman po kayo, you're not working 24 hours eh. So, ang mangyayari niyan, so habang nasa trabaho ka, they're doing their assignments, ganyan. Tapos pag uwi nyo, checkan nyo po yun. Opo. So siguro, yes.
Sorry. Meron din ibang dynamics naman pag sinabi mo working, no? Like, I've always been working. Mula nung nahiwalay ako, nagtatrabaho na ako, hindi na ako stay-at-home mom. So, if you are working online, that can also be work from home. Pero, naman yung accomplish, pero yung quality ng na-accomplish mo. One thing that I also observed in homeschool is yung time spent in school for a certain subject matter, ang bilis lang yan sa homeschool. We've never spent like an entire day kung talagang nag-aaral sila. Hindi kami nakakaubos ng buong 5 hours para sa academics. Kasi siguro yung ratio ng student ratio so na pero ang inclination mo kaya nga kanina shinare ko about mindset kasi malaking bagay yung i-empower mo yung sarili mo kung gusto ka lang support. Pero meron sabi, I just desire to be about it and going to be your
Sister
decision.
ko, naputol-putol ka na naman po, sister ko. Parang sinasabotahe ka dyan.
Chappy si Kong. Sayang, ang ganda pa naman ng mga sinasabi ni Kong. Pero sisingit muna ako habang inaayos ni Sister Kong yung audio niya. Kasi marami po ako nakikita nagtatanong dito. Hindi nila mahanap yung Facebook group. Hindi ko alam kung paano. Pero eto po, Ito po siya. Pakita ko na lang. Latter-day Saint Homeschool Philippines. Yan po.
Sister Hazel,
Hindi po ako ganun kateki. Hindi ko alam kung paano picturean to at isend doon.
ayan,
Opo.
Sister Hazel, ano?
Yes,
Sister Aleth,
opo.
kaya naman kasama na kayo dyan. Now, if you're now, pag na-member na kayo dyan sa grupo na yan, you can invite other, people na kilala into that group, or admin lang talaga ang nag-i-invite?
Pwede mo kayo invite, pero tell those you have invited to answer the security questions. Kasi po, for the security of the group, we have security questions. Are you a member of the church? Saang ward, saang stake, or branch, or district? At if you are considering homeschooling or are homeschooling already. So yun lang po mga, pakisagot lang po ng mga questions para ano.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Another question. Do you need to be a bachelor's degree holder to be a homeschool mom?
Some providers po require that qualification, especially if you're going to teach high school, if your children are in high school or senior high school. O kailangan po college, at least college graduate. And o kaya po, kung hindi naman po kayo yung magtuturo, meron kayong i-outsource nyo sa tutor, yung pong diploma ng tutor, kung sino man yung magtuturo. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the parents, pwedeng yung lola, yung lolo, yung tita, o kung sino man po ba yung magtuturo, yung diploma niya ang isasubmit. Pero there are some providers na kapag preschool and graders, pwede na po college level. Ayan po.
Okay.
Ito
Sister,
naman po, mag-share lang po ako ng personal
sige.
opinion about that. Ito sa akin lang to. I don't think you need to be a college graduate or college level to be able to teach your children. For me, kung mahal mo ang anak mo, that is already a credential, a great qualification for you to be a great homeschool mom or dad. Si Teodora Alonso, ang nanay ni Jose Rizal, ay wala namang formal schooling, but she has taught his son well. So yun lang ang gusto kong sabihin sa mga nanay na parang who feels inadequate to teach their own children. Find that inner teacher in you, because that is God-given. Yun po. Hindi kailangan ng college degree.
Wow. Thank you, Sister Aleth.
Totoo po.
May tanong lang po ako. Ang tanong to, kasi may nagtanong kasi dito before that, nagtuturo din ba tayo sa homeschool natin ng calculus, physics, chemistry? Ganon? Nagtuturo. Okay,
Opo,
nagtuturo.
kung ano po yung requirement ng DepEd na subjects, yun din po ang susundin natin.
Okay, very good. Nasagot na yung tanong ko, ano. So ito na po yung tanong ng ni Sister Jolie Gambor. Ang sabi niya naman, paano kung hindi niyo na forte ang lesson? Example, calculus, physics. How did you deal about it?
Kanina po na-share ko na po sa inyo kasi naranasan ko yan, yung senior high school ko po na anak na graduate. Talagang naintindihan ko po yun, ang napakahirap talaga ng calculus, mga higher math subjects. So fortunately, yung pong pinsan ng asawa ko ay math professor sa Mapua. So kinontak po namin sila. So marami pong pwedeng tumulong sa atin. At yan nga po ang isa sa mga goal ng aming group. Sa group po namin, may mga mentors po kami na may MA sa math. Kahapon nagkaroon kami ng meeting with our mentors kasi isa nga po sa mga goal namin is to help our families with this struggle sa mga subjects, na magkaroon ng mga web classes na libre para sa mga members natin, na mga web classes na ganyan, mga tutorial. Kasi marami po, meron tayong mga members na coach sa mga national academic competition. So ang dami-dami po, ma-amaze pa kayo. There are a lot of members in the church na ang gagaling po talaga, and they're willing to help.
Okay, thank you, Sister Hazel. As a parents, Yan ang parang isa sa mga nafe-feel namin na ano ba, inadequate kami ni sis na pag nag-homeschooling na yung mga bata, yung asawa ko kasi ang major niya is magaling siya sa sa English. Siya lang, paano na yan? Magaling lang ako sa English. Paano na yung mga anak natin hindi tayo magaling sa math, 'di ba? Parang ganun ba? Are you saying na if hindi natin kaya magturo ng specific subject, pwede ba tayo mag-hire someone to teach our kids? Tulad ng sinasabi mo, Sister Hazel, na nag-contact ka ng mga kilala mo kasi nga magaling sila sa math, ganon.
Opo.
Okay lang ba yun?
Yun po. The power of connection. Yun po yung, kaya po yung group namin, yan po na-amaze kami na talagang sila na mismo nag-share po sila ng kung ano ang meron sila. Yung nakakatuwa po talaga yung nangyari dun sa group namin. So, meron po. At saka, may I also say that, kagaya nga sabi ni Sister Aleth kanina, relationship is very important. And character is more important than academic. Hindi sa homeschooling po wala po yung mga award. Kaya so when you start homeschooling at kung anak niyo po ay achiever na sanay kayo na umaakyat ng stage para magsabit ng medal, wala pong ganun sa homeschooling. So yun po yung isa na i-unlearn nyo or tatanggapin ninyo. Pero ako po nung hindi ako masyado nag-share po ng aking personal experience, pero kaya po kami nag-homeschool ay dahil ang aking pangalawang anak ay madalas po siyang sinasali sa mga academic competition. And dumating yung point na sabi niya, hindi na siya naman kasali sa classroom. Ang dami-daming pinapaaral sa kanya, tapos nagko-compete siya for the school. Tapos sobrang overwhelmed siya kasi pagod na pagod siya, papasok siya na maaga, pupunta siya sa mga malalayong lugar, tapos uuwi siya late na. So sabi niya, Mami, ang daming wasted time. Minsan pagka nag-iintay siya doon, nag-iintay siya ng turn niya, yung school niya kasi doesn't allow them to bring cellphone or books kapag nag-iintay sila bago sila pumasok doon sa competition. So, he was so bored. Sabi niya, ang daming nasasayang na oras, Mami. Sabi niya. Tapos even yung principal or and director, sabi niya, sayang naman, Mami, bakit aalisin niyo dito? Pero yun ang gusto ng anak ko. And sa ngayon nakita ko napakasaya niya. At ang dami niyang natututunan sa homeschooling. Na-amaze ako kasi yung mga gusto niyang pag-aralan, yun ang pinag-aaralan niya. At na-amaze ako kasi ganun pa lang ang edad niya, tapos yung mga natututunan niya ay minsan nga sinasabi nga pagka merong kaming mga activities na sinishare ng anak ko yung talents nila, sasabihin ng mga brother ko, minsan sabihin, para ka na nagtatrabaho sa atin yan parang ka na, parang professional ka na, gumaganon sila. And that's the blessing of homeschooling kasi yung talagang inclination nila, yung gusto nilang matutunan, nakaka-focus sila doon. They have all the time to study yung interest na gusto nila.
Wow. May tanong sige po, madam. Sige, ikaw muna, madam.
Ito naman, the side of the kids. Diba? Can you give us a telltale sign that your children, as young as they are meant for homeschool? And if they're not, how do you know?
Well, sige, Kong, ikaw muna. Kasi ikaw yung nag-discuss ng to homeschool or not to homeschool.
Pangit na naman yung audio ko Narinig niyo ba ako? Yan Okay ba? Okay. Actually, yung sa akin, natatawa ko kasi depende talaga yun. Isa sa, hindi ganun kasi purely yung sa akin nung the second time that I homeschooled. Meron isa, siya yung humiling talaga. Meron isa doon, ayaw, pero part ng discipline niya, hinomeschool ko siya. So, which I think is a telltale sign kasi values-wise, na-erode na yung kanyang values because she was, parang pinalaki siya sa church, but, yung values niya parang hindi pa gano'n ka-solid na pagdating dun sa peer pressure, napapa-give in siya. So, there are times when you feel that you need to intervene. No? Kasi kung pinabayaan mo yon magha-high school 'di ba? So, nakakatakot. So, yun yung, para sa akin, yun yung mga, either they ask for it or nafe-feel mo as a parent. Malaking bagay talaga yung, malaking bagay yung nakikita mo, napapanood mo yung anak mo. Kasi, nagkakaroon ka ng revelation for your own children. Kahit na kaming tatlo nag-homeschool kami, iba-iba yung approach namin, iba-iba yung reasons namin, iba-iba din yung, although kahit parehong provider, iba-iba din ang curriculum minsan na tinuturo namin sa mga anak namin. And basically, it boils down to the revelation that you receive as a parent. So, mga kasama, itong dalawang kasama ko, like me, pinagdasalan din talaga namin ng katakot-takot kung mag-homeschool kami because at the time that we started homeschooling, kaya nga sabi ni Aleth, 'di ba? It's not for the faint-hearted. No? Kumbaga parang outlier ka or you are kumbaga parang hindi ka traditional And you have to explain that to your family, you have to explain that to so many people. And so basically it just down to revelation and what you see in your child, na pinakamalaking factor for me, yung sa tanong ni Cynthia.
Oo. If I may add kay Kong, we really need, kanina na-mention ko na rin, kailangan talaga involve natin yung mga anak natin sa decision making. Kasi kung ayaw nila, mahihirapan talaga kayo. Pero kung gusto nila, talagang mas magiging madali at makikita nyo talaga yung blessings. At saka ang isang nagustuhan ko talaga sa homeschooling is pati ako natututo. Ang dami ko talagang natutunan sa mga anak ko. Tsaka yung mga, iba kasi yung mga textbook nung araw tsaka ngayon, di ba, nagkakaroon ng, revisions yon. So, gano'n na pala yun. So, ang sarap-sarap lang po na matuto din kasama ng mga anak mo.
Ganda yung sinabi mo, Hazel, na you take the cue from your kids. So, sabi rin nga ni, I think Kong and Aleth also discussed that lengthily a while ago. No? The kids are the ones who should lead with this decision also.
Yes.
We provide the assistance. I also homeschooled and I took them out because they requested for the big school. Natalo ko. Hindi ako nakatipid na matagal. But they're enjoying it.
Ako naman, in my case, sabi ko, sige, try lang natin for a year. Kasi alam ko, dahil nagtatrabaho nga ako, so baka ma-overwhelm ako ng gusto. Pero nung the following school year, nung natapos na nila yung first year namin na homeschooling, ayaw na nilang bumalik. Sabi nila, Mami, no. Kaya namin to, mas magiging obedient kami, mas magiging masipag kami, gagawin namin lahat. At saka ang gusto ko sa homeschooling, yung life skills na tututunan. So kahit mga lalaki yung mga anak ko, they do household chores, marunong silang mamalansya, maglaba, magluto. Kaya yung panganay ko ngayon na nasa mission na, may mga nare-receive akong mga comments from other members na nagluto ng ganito, nag-family home evening, nagdala yung anak ko ng carbonara, nagulat sila, ganun. So things like that. So yun po, yun ang isa sa mga blessings.
And I think you cannot put a price also on the closeness that you'll develop with your kids.
Yes,
When you
yeah.
them. Even if they have like irate behaviors and you get tough with them, eventually when they grow up, they will appreciate you a lot.
That's true.
Let me add something lang po doon sa who should lead our homeschool, no? Should the children lead? Should the parent lead? This should be, education is very important, no? Very crucial sa ating lahat. And I know that God is mindful of our children's education. So there should be a proper communication. Magkasundo ang children and parents, husband and wife, and at the same time, we let God lead our homeschool. We pray together as a family, mag-usap-usap tayo, mga anak, alam niyo ba tong homeschooling, ganyan-ganyan. Magkasundo, you establish your family rules, your own, kung ano bang gusto niyo mangyari sa homeschool niyo. You know, our Come Follow Me curriculum right now is home-centered and church-supported. And amazingly, para sa akin lang, no, when the Come Follow Me curriculum was introduced by our prophet, medyo natuwa ako. Kasi we've been doing that. It's like, oh, ang galing. We've been doing that in our home. And so natutuwa ako. Ang homeschooling ay parang Come Follow Me lang po. Isingitan nyo lang na academics and there's no shame in outsourcing or asking for help. Kung di ka marunong, wala akong alam sa robotics, yung anak ko, interested sa robotics, magpre-pretend ba ako na alam ko yun, natituro ko? Hindi. Of course, I have to ask for professional help. And dahil nga nakakatipid kayo ng pera, you can invest that money on learning activities na gustong matutunan ng inyong mga anak at mag-i-enjoy kayong pamilya together. Mas strengthen yung relationship. Medyo mabawasan yung stress na kailangan natin gumising na maaga, pumasok sa school, gano'n. Or kailangan tapusin na tong project na to na hindi naman ginagawa ng bata, kundi ng mga magulang. Alam mo yung mga gano'n, maiiwasan yun if we just make this decision as a family and involve our Heavenly Father.
Excellent point, Sister Aleth. Excellent.
And if I
At
may
saka-
add, no? Sorry. Ngayon
Ah.
kasi may pandemic eh. So, hindi ko ma-imagine na may papasok sa school. So, whether we like it or not, kahit papano, kung anumang tawag ang gusto nating gawin doon, mapipilitan talaga tayo to teach our children, to take control, to take charge of their education na secular. Hindi kagaya before na papasok mo, ngayon pati public, wala kang mapapasukan. So, you are bound towards that direction talaga.
Kung sabi ni James, ang papasok lang daw yung principal.
Pwede, principal lang talaga. Sarap ng upo ni Sir, ah.
Oo nga.
Ay, kakamustahin ko nga pala yung guidance counselor ko ng college.
Pinakamagaling
Si
na
Ma'am
guidance
naman,
counselor.
nahalata ang edad ko. Ingay.
Hindi naman halata tingnan
Mabait
eh.
pa daw siya
Hindi
estudyante.
ganon.
Oh, yan.
Ibig sabihin, no, matanda na ako.
Magaling talaga yan si James. Nako, isa sa mga matatalinong tsaka mga mababait talaga.
Ang
Lagi
dami
sila,
atang record.
laman ng guidance office yan, hindi dahil sa record na hindi maganda ha. Talagang nandun sila, nakakatuwa. Ang saya sila, nagkikwentuhan sila doon. Kasi
Lagi daw siya nag-guidance.
Nung una kasi hindi namin alam na member pala sila. So nagkabulagaan na lang kami na, ay member ka pala. Nung nagkaroon ng activity sa MIR. Tama, James? Nung nakita ko sila, ay, member pala kayo. Ganon. Yun lang po.
Ako na lang, isang question na lang, last na sa akin, pababaya ko na si Randy. I think that, who has the oldest kids na homeschool? Is it Aleth?
Ako po.
Hazel, no? So,
Nakatapos na ng senior high school.
but I think, Aleth, you homeschooled your kids from preschool up to now. Are they in high school now?
I have 2 junior high schoolers, incoming, grade 7 and grade 8 po.
Si Kongkong nakapagpatapos until senior high, tama?
Ah.
Okay. And
So,
Hazel
nasa
also
nasa college na yung dalawa ko.
college na sila. Are they still in homeschool?
Currently kasi, because of the pandemic, na-defer yung pag-alis nung isa. So, sayang naman yung panahon. So, naka-enroll kami sa BYU Idaho online. Because we also took the pathway route.
Good. So, ang question ko is, did you notice any learning gaps?
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you put them in homeschool and then you revert back to a big school and then go back to homeschooling. Did you notice any learning gaps and how did you look into that? How did you solve that?
Can I answer that po?
Sige, ikaw muna.
Kasi I started preschool eh. Very significant yung learning gaps kung pag-uusapan na academics. My children, 2 my older children, started reading late. No? Nag-aalala yung mga in-laws na 6, 7, 9. Hindi ko kasi pinipilit magbasa because of the schooling principle that I am trying to follow. Hindi ko sila pinipilit, but mahilig ako magbasa. So, whenever my children see me reading, magpre-pretend din sila to read and I read to them. At hindi ko sila pinilit kahit na at the academic level, dapat daw 5, 6, marunong na magbasa. I don't believe in that. So, merong mga learning gaps, and I think yung learning gap na tinatawag, meron yan even for children who go to school. Ang dapat na tanong ay kung are your children learning the things you want them to learn? At that time, I wanted to learn something more important than just reading. Sa ngayon po, nagbabasa na yung mga anak ko. I read to them the Book of Mormon, lahat ng resources, mga Book of Mormon readers, itong mga nandito sa likod ko. And every book na maganda, I read to them. And I think it cultivated in them a love for reading. And my children are now readers. And siguro bias ako kasi nanay ako. Pero hindi ko tinitake yung credit sa sarili ko kasi alam kong hindi ko sila tinuruan eh. I just, let them, nung nakikitaan ko na sila ng sign na, Mommy, how do you read this? That's when I started teaching them the sounds of the letters, phonics. Nung nagpakita na sila ng readiness, nung tingin ko ready na sila, okay. Then I use tools, maraming magagandang tools sa internet na pero more than that, I think ang kinabibiliban ko sa kanila ngayon ay ang kanilang comprehension. When it comes to reading, it's more than just decoding the letters, the sound of the letters, but understanding or comprehending the language. No, hindi nga lang sa English, sa Filipino, dalawang language pa tayo bilang mga Pilipino. So yung mga bagay na yan, more sa academics pero I think doong ang mga tao ay nag-aalala sa academics ng mga anak ko, actually ako hindi, bilang isang ina. Kasi nakikita ko na whenever they wake up, na-establish ko yung morning routine to pray and read the scriptures. Kahit di sila marunong magbasa, kukuha sila ng Book of Mormon reader, have breakfast, tapos yung personal hygiene, mag-toothbrush. Para sa akin, mahalaga yun. More than just the academics, na ma-establish yun sa mga bata. Yung curiosity, yung imagination. Sometimes, sa mga bagong homeschoolers po sana, mga magko-consider na homeschooling, try to unlearn everything you have learned in school. Ang tawag natin doon ay de-schooling. Try to not do anything. Just relax and imagine na walang school at may pandemya at anong gagawin mo sa inyong pamilya? Ano bang mahalagang gawin? Rather than thinking of the learning gaps at pag-aalala, may stress lang po kayo na yung anak ko di pa marunong magbilang o ganyan, matututunan po nila yan, I'm telling you. They will learn that without the tears, without the hassle, without so much stress na dinidikta ng istruktura, ng sistema na hindi naman proven sa totoo lang. Yun lang po masasabi ko doon.
And if I may add, teach them to love learning. Kasi talagang sila na yun kapag mahal nila yung pag-aaral, sila na yung mag-crave for, they want to learn more and more and more.
Kong, you want to add to that? Sorry, Hazel. You're not...
Hindi, kasi kung yung mga iba talaga na gusto talagang malaman kung ano yung learning gap ng anak nila, meron naman pong tool din again. May mga assessment tools. At iyan po ang isa sa mga advantages kapag nag-enroll kayo sa isang provider. May mga provider po na nagbibigay ng assessment tools. But again, may cost to na kasama. So meron silang report, sasabihin nila yung mga learning gaps, tapos doon kayo magpo-focus. And sometimes meron silang mga learning resources, learning materials na ibibigay sa'yo to address the learning gaps.
Sa case ko, yung binanggit ko kanina, the Center for Educational Measurement, kasi DepEd aligned sila So kung ano yung nire-require ng DepEd na level ng learning nila for that particular subject, kasi per subject yun mo. So maganda yon, mag-take ka ng diagnostic test at the beginning of the school year, and then yun ang pag-aaralan nyo kasi DepEd also has what they call the progress assessment chart, yung tawag ko So per quarter, per level, per subject, nakalagay doon ano dapat ang natututunan ng anak mo. So makikita mo rin, makakapag-align ka din. And then towards the end of the school year, magko-conduct ka ulit ng same test para makita mo kung ano yung naging progress niya. If you're being technical about it. No?
And if I may add sa naman DepEd ngayon, yung DepEd Undersecretary ng si Dr. Antonio, San Antonio, Justado, they talked about this most essential learning competencies. Oo, so ngayon, pinag-aaralan ng DepEd, ano ba yung mga importante talaga, mga learning competencies? Kasi there are some subjects na hindi naman talaga ganun ka-essential. So yun. So they will focus now on the most essential learning competencies.
Wow, wonderful.
Also, may sinabi din si Aleth kanina, 'di ba, na you have to determine yung sinasabi nga ni, actually nung naririnig namin si Undersecretary, sabi ko, yan ang dapat na isipin kasi minsan as a country, parang sanay na sanay tayo sa SOP. No, na sometimes hindi na tayo makagamit ng ating mga di na natin magamit yung parang yung common sense minsan, no? Kasi ito yung standard operating procedure. It doesn't allow you to think out of the box anymore. So I think it's high time that we learn how to think that way. No, by yun na nga, tingnan mo kung ano yung essential.
I like all that you have said and you shared, no? Naalala ko yung second daughter ko. She's quite different from my first. Yung first ko, wala pang 2 years old, kabisado na yung alphabet and she can read letters. But my second, 4 years old na, hindi pa nagsasalita. Takot ako. She was actually the one who pushed me to go for homeschooling because I know she's not gonna fare well with the regular school. But I remember that day, she came to me shyly. She wasn't really talking. She came to me shyly. She was carrying a book and she pointed to the letter K. And then shyly she mumbled K. I was shocked. And then she repeated it again louder this time. She said, K. Napaiyak ako. Naturuan kong magbasa yung anak ko. And I think that's something that worth more than anything else when you do homeschooling. Wow. Ako, nagpapasalamat ako. And I'll turn the time back to Randy. Thank you so much, girls.
Okay. So, alas 3, tapos din naman tayo at okay lang ba na patuloy tayo sa mga questions natin. May nasabi kayong tatlo kanina na naghahanap kayo ng mga schools na pwede ninyong i-tie up, no? Makipag-tie up kayo and offer homeschooling, Kasi sayang din kasi, marami kasi tayong mga members na maraming mga schools. Sa Tarlac meron tayo.
Nakita ko nga po eh.
Sa Batangas,
Oo.
sa Batangas meron tayong 2, mga Montessori pa. 'Di ba? So, ang sa akin ba na sayang ang pagkakataon na if this is our this is our direction ba na maganda talaga yung homeschooling kasi nga nakikita talaga din yung flexibility ng as a parents ba. Gustong-gusto ko yung sinasabi ni Sister Aleth na alam mo yung principle-based talaga yung mga bata, no? At narinig ko si Sister Hazel, sabi niya, I don't worry my kids anymore when they grow up. Alam mo, yung pag-mission ng anak ko, wala akong problema sa pagluluto, magaling plancha. Di ba? Mga ganun. No, yan ang isa sa mga di ba, essentials talaga na dapat matutunan ng mga bata ba. Now, ang sa akin as, if kaya natin magtulungan tayo na coordinate tayo sa mga schools na yon. Kasi sayang kung isa yan sa mga requirements sa school na mayroon talaga silang homeschooling, why not? And I think, magaling si Sister Hazel dyan. Di ba? Siguro, mura na naman to. Maganda to, di ba?
Brother, hindi ko lang po talaga na-take note yung mga name ng mga schools. So if you can help us identify these schools
yes,
owned by
I will.
Saints. Thank you po.
I will po. Okay, now next is gusto ko sa mga alumni natin, sister, meron tayong maraming mga members na Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, hindi sila school, but they are operating a tutorial center. Now, ang sa akin lang ba, as a parent, now, hindi ako magaling sa math. Marami tayong mga members, kahit naman sa mga Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, new normal natin ngayon, pwede na tayo mag-online, Now, sa tutorial na yan. I think, siguro, sabi mo kanina, nag-uo ka sister kanina, Hazel, na pwede talaga sila magiging outsourced natin.
Partner,
to teach our kids.
yes.
So, partner. Meron akong isang kaibigan sa Batangas na sikat na yung tutorial niya at dahil sa pandemic talagang sara. No, alam mo yun. So ngayon, new normal, nagka-conduct siya ngayon ng online tutorial course. And nakita ng 51 talk na, uy, ayos tong batang to, magaling magturo. Nakipag-coordinate na naman tong 51 talk na to para sa ganun. So, yun, last, confirm ko lang, is it safe? Itong mga tutorial na to, hindi naman basta-basta. Pero, they have this expertise na pwede talaga natin magawing partnership, outsource para sa ating homeschooling.
Yes.
Naalala ko, ginamit ko isa sa mga yan, Jolen Mar, no? My kids went there for math.
Yes po.
She came from one of the more prestigious schools here in Davao, and hindi pa nag-school dito yung mga anak ko. Parang bagong dating pa lang kami dito, matunog na yung pangalan ni Sister Elena. So, wala pa a tutorial center. Tapos yun nga, sa math, hindi naman ako talagang mathinik. So, I sent my kids to her.
Nice. No? Maganda to mga sisters na I think we should work together kasi gusto ko mag-participate ba na i-link natin ng isa't isa, no, with the group that you have right now and sa mga tutorials natin ng mga magaling din ng mga tutorials na hindi rin tayo mapapahiya ba na parang doon ko rin nalaman alam mo, Brother Rance, dalawa lang naman talaga ang nagpapatutor It's either mahina ang anak mo or advance yung anak mo. Now, ngayon, hindi na applicable yan ngayon. Sisters, di ba? Na hindi na tayo nagpapatutor o hindi tayo ginagawa natin tong tong homeschool na to. It is not because mahina or hindi. Talagang ito na talaga yung gusto natin na gawin. No? At least may options tayo to teach our kids.
At saka yan po ang sagot dun sa mga working moms na working parents na iniisip nila na wala silang time, di nila matuturuan yung anak nila din. Pwede po yan, yung partnership with the tutorial.
Okay. I think one of these days, no, sisters, makipag-ugnayan ako sa inyo kasi gusto ko tumulong, no, para dandanan natin yung
Thank you po.
parang in line yan sa sinasabi sa area presidency, linking arms di ba? Linking arms. So. Okay. So, yun ang isa sa mga sagot nila. Okay? So, since meron pa tayong 5 minutes, Sister Hazel, Sister Marjorie, and Sister Aleth, last words po. Para before tayo mag-close, conclusion nyo po sa napag-usapan natin. Brothers and sisters, by the way, alam ko marami kayong mga questions dyan, and talagang ginagawa namin lahat na maikita ito. Kaya lang, di talaga kaya ng time natin. Now, kung gusto nyo talaga, if you are considering homeschooling, you can PM, pwede naman makita yan yung mga pangalan nila Sister Aleth, Sister Hazel, and Sister Marjorie, para mapasok kayo sa group na yon, yung grupo natin para sa homeschooling. Para doon pa lang sa group na yon, brothers and sisters, talagang marami na kayo matutunan talaga. Ginagawa nila lahat ng pwede lang makakaya para magbigay ng orientation sa lahat ng mga mamshis talaga na nag-homeschooling and considering na mag-homeschooling. Okay? Mauna si Sister Hazel, Sister Marjorie, and Sister Aleth, para sa conclusion nila para sa ating e-learning na to. Sister Hazel.
Well, I just like to tell everyone, mahal tayo ng Diyos The Lord loves His children especially. The Lord is mindful of our needs. So whatever circumstances that we have, we can always count on the help of the Lord, especially in educating our children, di ba? So hindi niya tayo pababayaan dahil yung pagiging magulang is already a calling. Binigay nila sa atin yon, binigay ng Diyos sa atin yon, and He will never leave us alone. Tutulungan niya tayo, bibigyan niya tayo ng inspirasyon kung ano ang dapat nating gawin para sa ating pamilya at para sa ating mga anak. para matulungan sila na to gain the knowledge and maging holistic yung kanilang pagkatao and to prepare us, no? Alam naman natin lahat as members of the church kung ano talaga yung ultimate destiny natin. And yung homeschooling, lalo na yung mga nababanggit ng prophet, yung intentional parenting, yung mga ganoon. At tapos yung with the program that we have right now in the church, yung child and youth program. So talagang nagbigay ng confirmation yun sa akin that we are in the right track. Nung nagsimula ako mag-homeschooling, medyo natakot din ako sa mga sasabihin ng mga iba na ano kami, bakit kayo mag-iiba? Kasi hindi popular ang homeschooling. Pero hindi ko pinansin yun. Sabi ko, basta kami, masaya kami sa ginagawa namin as families. Nakita ko yung blessing sa family namin. And I can see the Lord's hand working in this endeavor. And I'm grateful that we've decided to homeschool our children.
Thank you so much, Sister Hazel. Talagang napaganda talaga tong homeschooling na to. At yun, marami talagang nagpapasalamat dito sa akin, nag-PM sa akin na Brother Rans, this is talaga napagandang homeschooling na to. Sister Hazel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sister Marjorie?
Gusto ko lang i-re-echo yung sinabi ni President Nelson, no, na ang pinaka-importante na ma-receive natin sa panahon na ngayon is personal revelation. So, yung title ng aming presentation, To Homeschool or Not to Homeschool, nasa sa inyo pa rin po yun. Gusto ko lang i-share paano kami nagkita-kita nitong tatlo, kaming tatlo. Tapos na kasi ako sa homeschooling, or so I thought, until this pandemic, no? So nung na-kick out ako dun sa group, wala naman akong kasamang magiging group dito sa Davao or sa Mindanao na maging support group ng homeschool. So I have actually given up on the idea of forming this group until very recently. I've been invited by these two into their group. Kaya nung in-invite ako na mag-speak dito, sabi ko, teka, parang meron pang mas latest sa mga experience sa akin. No? So, and we all believe, the three of us believe that we did not come together on accident. No? The Lord knows the deepest desires of our hearts. And nandun pa din sa akin yung feeling na ay gusto ko na hindi nila ma-experience yung na-experience ko na na-kick out kami just because we did not agree to their doctrine. No, that tsaka medyo may stigma din kasi pag nag-homeschool ka. In fact, kaming tatlo, I think we are the only ones homeschooling in our respective families. So yung unang-una mong pagpapaliwanagan dyan is, paano may papaliwanag sa pamilya mo? Bakit ka nag-homeschool? No? Lalo na sa akin, sabihin nila, pahihirapan mo pa yung sarili mo. No? And so kaya nga parang on and off ako sa homeschool. But like I said, yung personal revelation is crucial, no, to your being a parent. When ultimately it boils down to parenting, because you will know what the Lord would have you do for your children. And yung tawag dito, yung decision na yon is going to be yours and yours alone. And as far as I'm concerned, why I homeschooled, I prayed about it as I struggled to be a single mom and to know what to do in terms of the discipline and the education of my children. No, so yun ang ultimate na deciding factor for me. No, kagaya din kay Hazel. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Kong. Thank you so much. Sister Aleth?
To homeschool or not to homeschool, no? Ito yung title ng webinar. And it's a dilemma right now that we have this pandemic. A lot of parents right now are confused sa isang bagay na bago. And in our Come Follow Me lesson last week, Alma was faced with similar dilemma, no, sa kanyang mga tao, yung mga younger generation who have gone to their wicked ways at hindi niya alam kung anong gagawin. Kinonsulta niya ang king, si King Mosiah, binalik sa kanya ang problema. And hindi niya alam kung anong gagawin. Just like right now, we don't know what to do, what is best for our children. We don't want to mess this up. We love our children so much. At ayaw nating magkamali. We are faced with similar dilemma Alma faced thousands of years ago. And what did he do? He turned to the Lord. He asked the Lord for help. And the Lord answered him and complimented him for asking. I know the Lord will compliment us as parents if we turn to him because that's what he wants us to do. Now, to know his mind. Ano bang gusto niyo po sa amin? Ano pong gusto niyong gawin namin? And did the Lord answer Alma's question the way we expect him to? Sinabi ba niya, o sige, yung mga wicked, alisin mo? Hindi. But what did he tell Alma? Two things, faith, repentance. The basic principles that this church was founded upon. So to homeschool or not to homeschool, we will not give you the answer to that. It doesn't really matter whether we homeschool or not, as long as we love the Lord and we love our children, it does not define us as parents. Hindi tayo, minsan kasi natatakot tayo sa sasabihin ng ibang tao. Whether we send our children to school, may masasabi ang mga tao. When we homeschool our children, may masasabi. Ang mahalaga, anong masasabi ng Panginoon sa atin? Yun lang po.
Ganda, napakaganda, no? Sister Hazel, Sister Marjorie, and Sister Aleth, in behalf of the Academy for Creating Enterprise, thank you so much sa time ninyo.
Thank you rin
Share
po.
ninyo sa mga insight ninyo, sa ano ninyo, sa expertise ninyo. Gusto ko lang i-close ito bago tayo naalala ko na yung sinasabi ni President Gordon B. Hinckley. Sabi niya, you have the body, the mind, and the spirit. With these three working together, you can walk to the high roads towards achievement and happiness. I think, sisters, why we are doing this? Bakit natin ginagawa ito? I think, isa lang gusto natin eh. Diba? Ang gusto natin gusto natin yung mga anak natin makuha nila yung yung happiness talaga sa buhay. Diba? Through learning, no? Kasi through learning kasi ma-develop natin yung mind nila. Kasi yan ang pinaka-importante, yung mind, yung body natin. Tuturuan natin yung mga anak natin sa mga temporal, tapos spiritual, tapos with the spirit that we have. Gustong-gusto ko yung sinasabi ninyo na sino bang mag-lead, yung mga anak ba, yung mga parents ba. Let the Lord lead this program. No? Tamang-tama po talaga. And I believe and I know na with these three working together, sabi nga ni President Gordon B. Hinckley, we can walk to the high road towards achievement and happiness. So, thank you very much. Napakagandang advocacy itong ginagawa natin, and I hope na ako rin makapag-impart din ako, and because I want our younger generation na maging ma-inspired sila and to be more prepared for the future ba, na magiging magaling sila na provider na father, magaling sila na leader sa church, magaling sila na mother sa home, di ba? Nagli-lead sila sa family. Talaga, napakagandang itong ginagawa natin kasi home-centered talaga ito eh. Parang inline talaga sa mga ginagawa natin ngayon. Ano? Now, again, Sister Aleth, Sister Hazel, and Sister Marjorie, thank you so much. Thank you so much from the Academy, in behalf of the Academy. So, now, i-close na natin ito, ano? And we want to request na magstay lang tayo for a while para makita-kita tayo para sa ating mini reunion natin, and baka may mga katanungan din sila, no? Pwede rin natin masagot. Okay? So I will now gagawin ko ng yung si Sister Lenny. Sister Lenny, ipopromote na kita as panelist para sa closing prayer po. Okay? Maraming salamat. Sister Lenny, unmute your mic and na po tayo. Thank you. Sister Lenny, unmute po. Hindi po kayo naririnig. Okay, thank you.
you po. Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you po for this great opportunity to learn and to hone our skills. We thank you po sa mga mentors po namin nag-share po ng knowledge, skills, and ideas po sa homeschooling. And we are so much grateful po sa mga tao behind this eLearning series possible. And thank you for all the blessings you shower to us every day. And sa gospel po, nag-strengthen po sa amin sa araw-araw, lalo na po for this pandemic. And we ask you, Father, to bless us always and help us and guide us to apply po yung mga learnings na tutunan po namin sa sa e-learning na ito. And we ask you, Father, to protect us and help us to be safe always. And we humbly pray this in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Wow, thank you. Sisters, napakagaling ninyo. May chemistry talaga yung tandem niyo yung tatlo, no? Okay, now, Lord, help me, na ma-promote natin yung mga natin.
Thank you,
Promote
Hazel.
natin, brothers and sisters, ha?
Thank you, Aleth.
Yan.
Thank you, Dan.
Naanak ulit ako at ipapa-homeschool ko sa inyo.
Kayang-kaya na ni James yon.
Oo nga. Homeschool na
Kaya ni James yan.
Nervous ako doon.
Bibili na lang siya ng malaking calculator.
Naalala pa yun, ano?
Yes.
Nag-guidance daw to lagi kasi mabaksak sa math.
Kulang sa guidance kaya lagi nasa office.
Troublemaker ata.
Good boy yan, good boy.
Boy.
Tingnan mo naman kung nasa na siya ngayon, di ba?
Opo.
Malapit sa police station.
Nasa na siya ngayong kanang kamay ni Cynthia.
Wow, ang daming participants. Thank you po sa
Actually,
inyo.
pinakamarami natin, umaabot tayo ng 99 kanina.
Oh.
Nagka-problema sa internet yung iba na po.
For the webinar, we have the FB Live and the screen sharing. So, mamaya makikita natin the total number of viewers. There you go.
Wow.